Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've tried so many of these. Too many probably. But this one stands out. It caught me off guard. Let's figure out why together. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer wanted to spend significant time with this monitor before sharing an opinion, acknowledging the unique nuances of such a large display. The initial impression is one of sheer scale. The box itself is enormous and heavy, requiring a buddy to move. However, the unboxing process was surprisingly simple. Seeing the monitor in person for the first time was described as a genuinely smile-inducing moment, a beautiful and almost outrageous sight. The colors were crisp and balanced straight out of the box, though our reviewer did boost the brightness for their well-lit room and performed a slight calibration for color-sensitive professional projects. After extended use, the unit has remained perfectly reliable, performing as well as it did on day one. The central question, however, is whether it's a practical purchase. Our client suggests that for most people, the answer is no. Multiple smaller screens would provide far better value for those who simply need more screen real estate. This monitor is a premium luxury experience for those who want a clean, minimal desk and can afford it. Features like the built-in KVM switch are a huge benefit, simplifying the workflow between a personal computer and a work laptop. The immersive experience in supported video games is also a major highlight. Still, there are downsides. The included stand is bulky, and the unit generates a fair amount of heat. The reviewer also grappled with whether the vast screen was actually a hindrance to productivity, finding it potentially distracting for programming and design work. They even experimented with returning to a smaller setup, but the trial was short-lived. After just 2 weeks, they went back, having missed the joy and unique features this expansive display provides. Ultimately, it's a fantastic product, but one that shines brightest for specific users, rather than being a one-size-fits-all solution.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer has been using this ultra-wide monitor for about a year and generally loves it, considering it a 5-star device for pure productivity, though they give it 4 stars overall. The sheer amount of screen real estate is fantastic for spreading out work and minimizing the need to switch between windows. A standout feature for our reviewer is the built-in KVM switch, which they find to be one of the best implementations available for connecting multiple computers. It allows seamless sharing of a single keyboard and mouse across up to 3 different machines, a huge convenience for anyone with a complex setup. However, this excellent functionality is somewhat let down by a clunky control system. The on-screen menu is slow to appear, and navigating it with the unlabeled, unintuitive buttons under the bezel can be a frustrating experience. While there are quick-switch shortcuts, this client found them to have some finicky limitations, often forcing them back into the slow main menu. When it comes to gaming, this display is not designed for high-performance play. It requires a pretty powerful graphics card just to reach its modest 60 Hz refresh rate, and the lack of any adaptive sync technology means screen tearing can be an issue. That said, it provides a wonderfully immersive experience for more cinematic, casual games. Some titles do struggle with the super wide aspect ratio, causing visual stretching on the edges, but this can often be corrected with in-game field of view settings. Physically, the included stand is sturdy but has a large footprint that takes up significant desk space. This user also found it didn't raise the screen high enough, eventually opting for a VESA arm mount to reclaim their workspace. It's worth noting that the VESA mount is recessed, so a compatible arm may require extra hardware like spacers and longer screws to be fitted properly.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer needed more screen space and decided to try a curved monitor. Before getting this display, they were using a 34 curved monitor alongside a 24 widescreen as a secondary screen, and before that, even 2 20-side monitors. Our reviewer's goal was a setup where they could focus on work directly in front of them, without the distraction of having to constantly turn their head to look at another monitor. The 49 curve seemed like the perfect solution. The biggest selling point for this monitor was its 1440 resolution. This client had tried another 49 curved display before, but it only offered 1080p, which looked stretched. On this device, the picture is crisp and clear. Our reviewer also appreciates that this monitor's power cable plugs directly into the back without needing an external power brick. They weren't sure if that was good or bad at first, but it has grown on them. The only real downside this client has found is that the monitor could maybe use a slightly more aggressive curve. Things at the edges of the screen can sometimes be a little hard to see, though they admit that this could just be their seating position and viewing distance. This individual is going to experiment with their setup. As a general tip, this client recommends plugging in all the cables when you first attach the display to the stand, while it's still nestled in the styrofoam packaging, to avoid any accidental scratches, especially considering how heavy the monitor is. Overall, the reviewer thinks that a 4345 version of this monitor with the same 1440 resolution would be absolutely ideal for their setup.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.